Surely people with serious injuries would have lawyers who had followed the clues. But I was wrong. How does a lawyer find the clues to prove a corporate cover-up? Lawyers sometimes miss clues that are right in front of them. When I was a young lawyer, I was working a case for a former United States Marine who got in a car crash on the 4th of July. There was a problem with his seatbelt. It unlatched until he was ejected, and it broke his neck. He was paralyzed from here down. That seatbelt malfunctioned. I know it now because we followed the clues and we proved it. But at the beginning, we didn't know for sure. We just had his word. He said he was wearing a seatbelt, yet he was ejected from the vehicle. So I got the idea to investigate complaints from people driving the same vehicle who had called to complain about the seatbelt unlatching. These were phone calls to the car manufacturer in crashes where there was no lawsuit. No reason to make something up, no benefit at all. This was pure, unadulterated truth. I expected to find a few complaints in minor crashes with no injuries. Surely people with serious injuries would have lawyers who had followed the clues. But I was wrong. There were hundreds of complaints, and many of those people were catastrophically injured. Their lawyers had sued the other driver, but missed the clues to the defective seatbelt, even though their own clients had told them what happened. Why do lawyers miss clues like this? There's a saying that I tell all the lawyers I teach. I say it all the time, way too much. To the beginner, there are many paths. To the expert, few. Sometimes we're blinded by our own expertise. We have to force ourselves to allow for other possibilities, even unlikely ones. Those other lawyers missed the clues to a case that was staring them in the face, and they failed their clients. All because they said to themselves, what's more likely? That a seatbelt system was defective and actually unlatched during a crash? Or my client is mistaken about whether they put on the seatbelt? Sure, it was more likely that the client's memory was wrong, that the client forgot this one time to put on the seatbelt. The expert was right. That was more likely. But it wasn't true. In this particular case, we had a defective design that unlatched in crashes. What are the odds of that? Not very likely, but that's what happened. We must cultivate the beginner mindset so we can explore unlikely possibilities, because sometimes those unlikely possibilities are what happened. Beginner mind is a powerful tool for the trial lawyer. In my very first trial, a post-collision fuel-fed fire case, I noticed something very strange. The defense lawyers seemed to be defending against a different case than the one we were making in the courtroom. In one sense, our case, the one we were actually bringing, was undefended. So I asked my partner, what's going on? Why are they arguing against a case we're not making? Because they're experts, he said. They know what's considered to be the very best case we could bring, the one that expert lawyers on our side would make. And that's the one they're defending. The problem for them is that we're not fuel system experts like they are. We looked at it fresh and we saw something different. That verdict was so big it made news around the world, and it changed how fuel systems are designed. It saved countless people from burning alive because of beginner mind.